Hey brothers and sisters, this is Heman from Camp 77. Coming back to you again. This is part 2 in a series that has to do with church structure. That last video, the first one cut off rather abruptly, but I'm sure y'all can see I'm pretty minimalist when it comes to the videos, and I'm not a big video or tech guy. I'm a big man of Yah guy, and I deliver these messages and I come in and do these videos when Yah tells me to, and I'm here just for you guys, so bear with me. And before I get back to First Timothy, or I'm sorry, Titus chapter 6, I want to give y'all a tip real quick. I want to show you a product, which a few products. This product is colloidal silver. This is going to help you out for your daily immune support while you're out there. We know that there are all kind of things floating around right now, and people are shedding all sorts of things, and until again, it's about getting out, but until you get out, you need to protect yourself and your family. And this here has been being used for thousands of years. This colloidal silver, sovereign silver is the top brand of this. They used to use it to clean water supplies in the ancient world, so it's, study it and look it up if you need to, but it's definitely worth the money, and this will help protect you and your family's immune system with all the with the abominations that are out and about right now, and you need it even just breathing in the air and all the things that people are shedding in the environment. And then I have another product here that's activated charcoal. The brand here is Solar. And this stuff is so strong that it will fight poison. So even if if you or someone accidentally poison themselves, activated charcoal will absorb this and all other things. I mean, it's so strong that it even stops certain medications from working. Most medications, I would say, from working. So this is powerful stuff. Look out for yourself, look out for your family, and look these products up and use them and take them in order to defend yourself and protect your immune system every day out here, y'all. We got to protect our bodies. Our bodies are the temples of God, and this will do the trick. This is going to help you and your family out tremendously. Okay, so back to Titus chapter 1. We're at verse 7 here, where it was for a bishop or a shepherd, that is a guardian. All right, so a guardian is a shepherd of the congregation. Let me repeat again, it's the guardian's job to take care of the congregation, the welfare of the congregation, both spiritually and physically, while the Bursa is to take care of the finances. So a bishop or a guardian must not be given to filthy lucre, is where we left off. And filthy lucre is not just money, but filthy lucre is greed. Filthy lucre is the love of money, and the love of making a profit off of the word, making a profit off of the teachings. Okay, must not be greedy of money or controlled or influenced by profits. Okay, no way is that going to work the will of Christ. And Christ told us that we were given this freely and we are to give it freely. And we must remember always that it's Christ who has the authority over the church and to tell us all what to do. We all are brothers and sisters, and it's Christ's authority which we are all under. Okay, it's Christ who's the one who is going to tell us how he wants his church to be, how we are to do. And then there's a parable where we're told that whoever knows what to do and doesn't do it, then they are like a foolish person which built their house without foundation. So whether you be a man, a woman, whether you be a teacher or a leader of a congregation, we need to get right and get prepared. And if you are a leader of a congregation, then you have a short amount of time to get right before Christ comes back. Everybody needs to be prepared by 2028. During this time, I hope you all got your ministries right if you're a leader, and each person needs to do an examination of their life and the congregation they're with, because if you're in a congregation where the leadership is not following Christ, then you have to answer for that. Okay, So now, lover of hospitality, that's treating people like guests or taking in guests. A lover of good men. Sober, meaning self-controlled or moderate in life, and also as to opinions and passions. But again, this is what a shepherd must be. This is what a bishop or a guardian must be. All right. A guardian must also be right. He must be right and righteous. That is just. He must be holy. That is pure from defilement. He must be self-controlled. So he must be strong in controlling his appetites and in his temperaments. Okay. Holding firm the faithful word as it has been taught. It's been taught by Christ and it's been taught by Christ's apostles. So that's how it's to be held, and that's how it's to be again, freely we've been given and freely we are to receive, and we are to give what we received. All right. So that he may be able by sound doctrine, by sound instruction or teaching, both to exhort, which is to comfort or call people near, and then also to convince and rebuke and refute gainsayers, that is people who speak against, or people who contradict. All right, so here you have what all equipment and tools that a shepherd needs in order to do his job. All right, and as far as these people who are talking against or contradicting Christ, here in Titus, we're told there are many unruly and worthless talkers and deceivers. Of course, we all have ran across them, especially those of the circumcision, meaning those who are Israelites, whose mouth must be stopped, who subvert, or that is to overthrow entire households, teaching things which they ought not to. So teaching things which they need not, teaching things which they should not, teaching things that aren't of a benefit. Okay, and this is for filthy lucre's sake, or because of greed, or because of profit. So teaching a certain way or teaching a certain doctrine in order to make gain or gain profit or to be popular. All right, and these are exactly the people who need to shut up. All right, this is Christ's church, and Christ has the authority. And again, us as men, we are building upon His foundation. And any man who doesn't, whatever type of foundation that man builds, is going to be judged in the end. And any man who doesn't follow the model and have the Spirit of Christ has no business being a part of this. And we have no business being a part of a man's congregation who is doing as he pleases, or teaching things that are profitable for him, or preaching what would make him popular and successful. Okay, moving on now to 1 Peter chapter 2, and again we're still understanding what is a guardian and a bursa. All right, and the shepherd of a congregation, what exactly they're supposed to really be made of. All right, what is their duty to do? All right, and this is what we all need to know, because we are to test the spirits, even our leaders, and to make sure that they are following the example of Christ, or we're not to follow them. Okay, we are Christ's sheep, and they are put in a place to be shepherds. Um, Shepherd, not hireling. Okay, so now I'm going to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 25. All right, because you were like sheep going astray, but are now returned to the shepherd and bishop of your souls. Of course, that being Yahushua HaMashiach, the shepherd and bishop of all of our souls. Again, he's the high priest. He is the centerpiece of our church, and this church, everything is built off him. The Hebrew roots movements are good, but it's Old Testament. Yahushua is the fulfillment of the Old Testament, and his priesthood and his church is the Melchizedekian priesthood and the Melchizedekian church. It's not built off the Levitical or the Old Testament. In fact, the Melchizedekian priesthood is more ancient than the Old Testament and the Levitical priesthood, and it's built off of that. So we're not going to understand fully what to do. And again, even if we go to the Old Testament, we still must understand it through the filter of Christ. Christ being the fulfillment of the Old Testament, and Christ being the bridge that connects the Old Testament and the New. Hallelujah. All right. So a bishop or a shepherd is a guardian. And then we see not only responsible for the teaching and the spiritual welfare and physical welfare of people, but a guardian also must be willing to give their life for their congregation. I mean, a leader should be prepared to die for his people and to serve his people. All right, we're going to go to Matthew chapter 20, and this is verse 25 through 28. Is Yahushua speaking to his disciples. He called them to him. He said, "You know that the princes, which are the rulers of the Gentiles, exercise dominion over them, and that they that are great, or have the high positions, they exercise authority upon them. But it will not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, he will be your minister." All right, now minister means one who attends or waits upon another or others in menial duties. Okay, so again, who wants to be great, who wants to be the leader, who wants to be the shepherd, is to be the one to minister to and serve the others. Whosoever wants to be chief among you, let him be your servant. Okay, so this is plain language from Christ that he is saying it is not to be done like what we see in the mainstream church today at all. That is not Christ's church right there. That's why there's no Holy Spirit, and that's why there's no healing, there's no miracles in it. Okay. He says, even like me, even like the Son of Man came not to be ministered to, but to minister. Again, he is the model, and he showed us how to do it. All right. And to give his life as a ransom for many. So here we are again, where the shepherd, the guardian, the pastor, the preacher, the teacher, whatever you want to call it, they are to serve and minister to the rest of the congregation. That is their purpose and their function. And even to the point of giving their life, this is what Yahushua did. Okay, and you have to be humble and not raised up above your people in order to do that. All right, now going to John chapter 13. Again, I'm letting the scriptures speak here, and this is Christ and his apostles who are telling us what are these things we were taught to observe. All right, if we want to be in his body, then the body is only one spirit. All right, one baptism, one calling, one hope, one Lord, one Yah. Okay, so now John chapter 13, verse 12. After he had washed their feet, and he took off his clothes, look at that, he washed their feet. Or he took off his clothes, he sat down again, he said to him, "Do you know or understand what I've done to you? You call me master and Lord, and you are saying, well, or what you say is good, because that's what I am. If I then, your master, have washed your feet, then you also ought to wash one another's feet, because I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Truly, truly, I'm saying to you that the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither is he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If you understand these things, you are happy if you do them. Happy, well off, and of a benefit if you do it. So it benefits us nothing to know these things and then not do it as leaders or as shepherds in our congregations. And it benefits us nothing to know these things and then know that we're in a congregation where the leadership is not doing it. Okay, so now this has to do with who Christ chose, all right? And again, this is an example. He has given us a model and a exhibit to imitate, and it's about lowering oneself and being humble to those who are lower, and not the opposite, like what we're seeing coming out of most groups today. All right, one more verse I have here for the guardian and the Bursa, for the understanding on the guardian and the Bursa, and that's 1 Timothy chapter 3. I'm going to go through to verses 4 through 7. All right, now as far as being a bishop, again, which is the same thing as a shepherd, a superintendent, or a guardian, from 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4 through 7, we're told that it needs to be a man who rules his own house well. All right, so first off, it needs to be a man who has a family. In the church, the foundation of Christ's church is the family, and we are told by Christ himself and by his apostles that a man is equivalent to Christ, and the woman or the wife is equivalent to the church. So the first basis and foundation of the church are families. It's the human family, and each family has already an appointed guardian in a Bursa, which is the man and his wife. Okay, and then the assemblies are made up of families that come together that are on the same walk in life and that are of the same mind and of the same spirit, and that's what forms the assemblies. But the main churches of Yahushua at the time when he founded it were home churches, and wherever people went from house to house is what we're told, but yet they were still in one accord and all praying together and all of one mind and one heart. Okay, so in order to be a shepherd, a man has to have had the experience under his belt of being married or having children and ruling his own house well, having his children in obedience with all gravity. Gravity here meaning